Hello, my name is Marty Luna, and I'm doing a video on nanotechnology. Um, K. Eric Drexler popularized the word in the 1980s. He was talking about building machines in the scale of molecules, a few nanometers wide. We still talk about that today. One of the things that we really want to use it for is computers. The biggest thing about it is taking something so small that's the size of a pinhead and being able to make factories and other stuff out of it that we don't have to really sit there and watch. Has a lot to do with computers. I mean, we take the electrons and protons on an atom and we create ones and zeros that allow us to do all kinds of really cool stuff. Well, the biggest thing about the nanotechnology is the theoretical capability was envisioned as early as 1959 by the renowned physicist Richard Feynman. And he said, "I want to build 1 billion tiny factories, models of each other, which are manufacturing simultaneously. The principles of physics, as far as I can see, do not speak against the possibility of maneuvering things atom by atom. It is not an attempt to violate any laws. It is something in principle that can be done, but in practice it has not been done because we are too big." Now this is the basic of nanomachines. Nanomachines, mini factories, you set them up just like computers. You could use the neutrons and protons and electrons and everything as ones and zeros to create a binary language that would allow the nanomachines to run at an atomic or even subatomic level. Now there's things that we haven't really put a whole lot of thought into when it comes to nanotechnology. Now I would like to give you my take on an alternate history. Now we all know back in the 1960s we were in a space race with the Soviet Union and other countries to get to the moon first. Well, instead of hearing JFK tell us that he would like to see us send the first man to the moon, let's envision that he said, "Let us send the first man to the moon and have him stay there." And to do this, I believe we can use nanotechnology. Now, the biggest thing about having factories and things like that we send all of this stuff up there to space, we have to have this big, huge, giant spaceship that's got to carry everything up there. Well, with nanotechnology, by focusing on it, we were able to make our factories smaller. Just as Richard Feynman said, wanted to build 1 billion tiny factories, models of each other, which are manufacturing simultaneously. Well, what if, instead of NASA becoming NASA and focusing on just getting to space and just sending a man to the moon and bringing him back, what if NASA became the Nanotechnology and Space Association? Basically meaning that NASA is now the NTSA. We lost the space race. We couldn't make it. But now, instead of being the first there, the first to actually land on the moon, we're the first to actually have a space colony. We're the first to actually get onto the moon and be able to stay there. And by being able to stay there, we're able to advance ourselves even further. And now we're in Mars. Now we're on Europa. Now we're mining the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. So because of nanotechnology, we have been able to push ourselves even further because we focused on that first. And now, instead of being the first to the moon, we may have been last, but now we're first to Mars. Now we're first to the asteroid belt. Now we're first to Europa. And how we do that is by taking these small little nanomachines that I can't even get my fingers small enough for this camera to see exactly how small they would be. And we sent a box of them, a small box. And this box allowed billions and billions of self-replicating factories to land on the moon. And then by doing that, these self-replicating factories, along with little small workers that move all of these pieces, create a colony on the moon that allows us to then jumpstart ourselves from the moon and into the rest of the solar system and beyond. Thank you.